Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I want to share with you guys my top 10 favorite best kitchen DIYs that I've done on my channel. So let's get into the video. Why you will need 3 of these long love signs along with 2 of these long love signs. These are all from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to be using a little putty knife to take the little burlap hearts off. These were super hard. There was so much glue on here. I did have to sand them down, which took about 10 minutes a piece. And then I'm just going to use the Waverly white chalk paint and cover the entire boards. So I'm going to do this for the 3 long boards along with the 2 longer boards as well. And you're definitely going to want to sand these. I just use a Bosch, I can never say it right. I will leave a link to my sander, but I love it because it has a bunch of different settings. So it works good for all kinds of wood along with stuff like glue, so I absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm just going to be painting here, and then like I said, painting these did end up needing 2 coats to cover the love. You could definitely sand these as well to take the red off, which probably would have been a lot easier. And then I'm just taking the 3 long flat love signs, and then I'm just going to be adding some popsicle sticks or the crafter sticks to the back to hold these together. And if you guys don't know what I'm making already, I'm going to be making a large stove cover or noodle board, whatever you want to call it. I know they're called noodle boards, but like I said, it's definitely what the preference is. It's technically a stovetop cover. And then I'm just going to be taking these thick wood pieces and gluing them to each side so I can make a noodle board. I thought this was such a clever idea, and I have this in my kitchen for quite some time now, and I love it. It was so easy, so inexpensive to make. These range from like $50 all the way to $200, which I think is crazy. So if you can make something that is a lot more inexpensive, this cost me $5. I'm reusing some handles. These were off of eBay. If I can find anything like this, I will link them, but I think they were $1 a piece, which is still super, super cheap. And then I just used my Cricut and cut out this cow along with Farm Fresh, and then I just measured everything out and stuck it with my transfer tape. This transfer tape is actually from Arteza. I think it works really great, so I just use that. And then I just make sure I line it up in the center, and everything looks super good. You can always use a stencil. You could use stickers, whatever you could find, decals, wall decals. I know they sell a ton at Dollar Tree and Walmart. So there's definitely something for everybody if you don't have a cutting machine. That is all I did here. You saw that I did hot glue the handles on. They end up having to be super glued on so they would stay, but I love the way this turned out. This is one of my favorite things I have ever made, hands down, especially because I know I will be using it all the time. This part of the video, I do want to thank Caraway for sending me over their hero set of 4 pots and pans plus the lids and storage. So they sent this over to me for free. This is in the color Sage, and I am already loving the color of this as soon as I open the box. I also love that they have storage for the lids. I would have never even thought. Normally when I have pots and pans, I just throw the lids in a basket or on top or somewhere pretty unsafe. They'll fall out of the drawers, etc., etc. What I also really love is that they also have little organizers for your pots and pans as well, so you're able to put them right into your cabinets or your cupboards without having to stack them, and then you have to get all of them out. I don't know how you guys stack your pots and pans, but they are not organized this nicely with mine. These are also 100% non-toxic ceramic cookware. The cookware sets come with organizers, no extra cost to you, and there's so many different beautiful colors, but this was my absolute favorite. And if you're looking for a great investment for your kitchen and your home, I would say this would be it. I have never had other pots and pans besides the last ones I've had for the last 10 years. They are in terrible shape. Everything sticks to them. These it does come with a little care guide to show you how to take care of these. You do want to wash them with hot water and soap before you use them, but since they are non-stick, you barely have to use any sort of oil, just a little dot if you need to, or a little splash. You're going to see here that I didn't even add any oil and I had nothing stick to my pan when it was over. But if you guys want to check them out, I will leave a link in the description box below, and you can get 10% off from June 30th all the way until July 13th. The cutting board came from Walmart after Christmas, and it was $1.43 or 23. It was super cheap. And then I just found a knife and a spoon and a fork with my Cricut, and I decided to cut these out. I also thought it'd be super cute if you use like a black fork and knife and spoon, like from the Dollar Tree, if you use the plastic ones and just glued them on. I think that would also be super cute, so it's definitely another option for you. And then all I did was lay this out and stick it right on, and that is all I did with this one. This was so easy, but it just made such like a nice little piece in my kitchen. I don't have a ton of kitchen decor, but I do have a couple cutting boards that I just kind of sit on top of the counters, so I thought this would be a great addition. This DIY, I'm going to be using 4 of these long wood pieces from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be using the Waverly chalk paint and ink to paint all 4 of them. And once they were all painted, I took the 4 of them and I decided just to use some hot glue to put them all together. And if you wanted for this to adhere more than what I'm using, you could just take some E6000, some super glue, some wood glue. But honestly, this worked out really, really well without falling apart. And I'm just using the Surebonder dual temp glue gun along with some Gorilla glue sticks. I highly recommend to paint the middles or the edges or the sides because I had to go back in and paint those. These little handles came off of Amazon. I love these. I think they look rustic and antique, and it comes with screws, and all you have to do is screw these right into the edges because I'm going to be making a super cute and functional tray for my kitchen. You'll definitely want to seal this if you plan on putting a ton of items on there. I normally don't show that in my videos, but you could totally add a clear coat or some clear wax, or you could add polyurethane, polyacrylic. That's what I was going for, polyacrylic right there. And then I just use my Cricut to cut out Farmhouse kitchen, and then I'm adding some of these little corner pieces I also picked up off Amazon. If you guys want to check them out, I'll link them in the description box below. This right here, I'm using a $1 yard sale find. This was a little box. It was in great shape. It was also wood, which I thought was just as amazing because I can just take that right to my garage and sand whatever I don't want on there. I always sand the stickers. It doesn't matter what I'm using. I always use stickers. Now I'm just going to be using a stain. I'm not sure what stain this is. I want to say it's Roanoke. I'm 99% sure it is called Roanoke. And once that was done, came back inside, and I'm just using the Waverly chalk paint in white to paint the bottom. This is not intentionally a Cricut video. It just seems like I used my Cricut, and then back in the day I used my Silhouette a lot to make home decor because honestly, this is a lot of items that I still have in my home that I absolutely love. I love this little But First tea. I actually gave this away as a gift, and it was an excellent gift. So you could totally make DIY gifts for $1, throw some tea in there, and somebody will absolutely love it if they are a tea lover. But I think this turned out so stinking cute. DIY, I'm using a red $3.09 cookie tin. I picked this up at Goodwill, and I think I painted this, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, and I still have this in my kitchen to this day. It is one of the favorite things I made, and I did not paint the bottom. And you know what? I didn't even realize that I didn't paint the bottom until right now. Like, that is how much I don't look at the bottom of my items. And I actually just put wax melts in this and have it in right on top of my kitchen. So anytime I'm changing my wax melts out, this is the Waverly chalk paint in celery, which I absolutely love. Like, that is one of my go-to colors I have not used in a really long time. Waverly chalk paint in celery. I also love the good old Waverly chalk paint in moss. But I'm just painting this entire thing with the celery color. After that, I decided to do some sort of like enamel color or some sort of like enamel vibe. I can't remember what this was, but this was like a pretty trendy thing. Is it still trendy? Because I really like it still. I have not done this in a really long time, but I'm just using a little makeup sponge from Dollar Tree and just kind of throwing some black paint on, like around the edges, around the middle, really wherever I wanted to. And I love this look. I think this makes everything just look a little bit more high end. I always run to items that look like this at Hobby Lobby, so you can really just make it yourself and it looks just as good. See, so I did not paint the bottom, and I never will. And it still looks great. Still looks great on my kitchen. You guys want to see a picture? Email me, I'll send it to you. I'm just kidding. Unless you really want me to. All right, so this bakery bread pie cake bread baked fresh daily. Obviously, can I read upside down? I think that just came off of the Silhouette app. I can't think of exactly what it's called. The Silhouette Studio, the Silhouette app. It came off of there, and I just love this. This is one of my favorite pieces I did. I'm so proud of it still to this day. So we're going to go right on to another Dollar Tree item. I teach What's Your Superpower. I loved these. I don't know if they bring these back every now and then, but if they do, pick some up. You can just take some nail polish remover and remove whatever writing that actually has on the galvanized part. And then you can add whatever you like. You could add some stickers. You could add rub-on transfers. I'm just going in with this fresh baked pie served daily. I think this is also off the Silhouette Studio. I could be wrong. They could have it on Cricut. Either way, it's with a cutting machine. But like I said, if you don't have a cutting machine, that is totally okay. I would probably use Chalk Couture at this point now because I absolutely love that. So if I ever find any of these, I will probably use silkscreen transfers. And I'm not just saying that I only like Chalk Couture. I love all silkscreen transfers. I have a ton from Michaels and Amazon. Wherever I can find them, I buy just because I like testing them out. And I really just like them all. So this one looks like fresh baked pie served daily. It only cost me $1. This DIY, I did this one quite a few years ago. I picked up the EAT from Walmart, and then I picked up those little cutting boards from Dollar Tree. And I'm just using an off-white color to paint the E, the A, and the T. And then you're going to see in a little bit, I'm just going to use some Antique Wax by Waverly just to do a little bit of dry brushing, and I'm using a paper towel. So my techniques have really changed, as you're going to be able to tell. I also am using a plastic bag on top of my carpet. But, you know, the crafting on the floor thing has yet to change. I'm not sure the color of the three of these, but it's just like a light blue. We get a white, and then we also have like a creamy brown color. I know I spray painted these, and I'll see if I have the colors in the description box below on my old video. But like I said, this was when I was just starting to craft, not knowing what I was doing, didn't even know what a description box was, the whole thing. But I absolutely love the way these turned out. I just added some bows and some twine around the tops, and then I hung them in my kitchen. I actually just took these down not too long ago, which I'm kind of regretting, but I had these up for almost 4 solid years. But I love these. I love the way they looked in my kitchen. DIY, I'll be using a chalkboard from Walmart. It was almost $3 along with these silkscreen transfers. These are from Michaels. They were on clearance for $5. I love this little menu, fresh daily. And then I'm just adding the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're actually using this right now in the kitchen, which is so nice. So now that the kids are on summer vacation, they can make their own menu up, which makes my life so much easier. We don't have to talk about what we're having for dinner. It is already on this board, and we just use a chalk marker to write on, and then we just wipe it right off. You could use chalk, you could use whatever you wanted. It's kind of a smaller menu board, so you do have to write kind of tiny, but this works for our house, and it is so cute. Even if you didn't really use it as a menu board and you just wanted it as decor, still looks really cute. DIY, I picked this up for $6.29. It was a tater bin. I do not like the word taters, so this really had to get refinished and redone. But this is what it looked like. The first thing I did was kind of tear everything apart, started to sand this down, whatever kind of wood or sealer or stain, whatever was on this. It was messy sanding. I prefer not to strip items just because I like things done quick and at a good, reasonable time. It's just how I am. Very impatient person. So I'm just going to be sanding this all down. I ended up just giving up. I was going to paint. I was going to stain it the front. I was going to do a lot of different things to this, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just go in with some spray paint. Let's get it done. So I did a couple of coats of spray paint, and there we go. The spray paint that I always use is Rust-Oleum. I love Rust-Oleum. If I ever use any other kind of spray paint, it's because I needed it at that very second and did not go to Walmart or Lowe's or Menards and pick it up. But I just used a ultra matte finish, just a white color. Once that was done, I'm just putting the hinges back on, and then I'm going to go in with a silk screen transfer from Michaels. This one was also $5 on clearance. They clearanced out a ton of these, and I just love this one. I've used this once before. I think it looks really good, so I just put this right on the top. Then I'm going to be adding some rub-on transfers or furniture transfers. They are from Dixie Belle, and I just added them to the bottom. And that is all I did for this. I was actually going to sell this in a yard sale this summer, and then I decided to keep it because I thought I would have a million regrets if I didn't. And then I just ended up doing a finishing coat. So I just did a spray coat sealer on this, and this has worked perfect in our home. This DIY is another older one. I'm using 2 canvases from the Dollar Tree, tearing them apart. This is before I knew about the whole reverse canvas thing, although I really enjoyed using foam board quite often. So I'm going to be going in with the antique wax. This is before I stained, and I'm just going to be painting around the canvas wood pieces. This is kind of why I think a lot of people buy the canvases, is for the wood, or they used to. It's a little bit different now on YouTube. People make things a lot better, more unique, but this was like a really cool thing quite a few years ago. So once that was done, I just cut out some foam board to size, and then I just used some free printables that I found on Pinterest to add into the centers of these. And I think back then I was really into E6000 because I honestly didn't know any better. I think it's great, and obviously if you want a good hold, but you don't always need to use E6000. It's just something that I always did because you saw it on YouTube or you saw it online, then you added your hot glue, and you still do that. You can still do that. Obviously I've gotten a little bit more lazy, so back then I was probably less lazy when I used glue. You guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite top 10 kitchen DIYs that I've ever done. Usually I do like the last few months or so, but I went way back. I went to the beginning of all beginnings. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys want to check out Caraway's Hero Cookware Pots and Pan set, I will link it in the description box below so you guys can check it out. But that is it. I will see you in the next one. Bye!